What's up, everyone? Going to wait just a few minutes for people to get in. Okay. I am pretty good. Looking at the chat here. Let's see here. See how many people are in or watching. Okay, 54 so far. We'll get started in one more minute. Personally, I'm going to say Angular simply because I do not have much experience yet with React. The Dutch gunslinger. That's a good one. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. So, I'm still trying to really get used to my vMix software here that's streaming all of this. We're gonna take this off. There we go. And then I'm going to stick this thing up here. There we go. Okay, cool. So this is the third or fourth week I've done this so far, and this is going to be coming out. This is a weekly thing. Every Friday, I'm streaming from 10:30 a.m. for about an hour. Today might be less because Wimbledon semifinals are on right now, but I'm still going to cover everything. I'm just going to maybe talk quicker. And then, so basically we start off by reviewing this week's videos, and I'm doing a Monday through Thursday schedule where I upload a new video at 10:30 a.m. and I ask a question on each one of those. So I ask you guys to answer them in the YouTube comments, and I'm going to provide you with some of the answers that I picked out along with my insights. And then after that, the second part of this is the thing up top there, the portfolio review, where you have to join the Discord server, which is a chat application. And then the link's right there and in the description here on YouTube. And then I think when you join, you go to you're stuck in the general channel. You click on this portfolio submission section right here, and you simply paste in your portfolio. And I only want you to do it once. Don't be spamming it, because I'm just going to do it in the order that these are received. And ideally, I want you to be here when you submit it. So if you submitted this like yesterday or the day before or any time other than when this live stream is occurring, I'm probably not going to do it. I just want people to be here while I'm doing the review. All right, so we already got one from the Dutch gunslinger, of course. All right, so cool. Let's go ahead and get started with the questions. Okay, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. All right. All right, so the very first question from Monday's video was, are you physically active on a regular basis? Now, I should say, when it comes to these questions, sometimes I really can't make them very relevant to design and code. I don't sit there for a long time trying to think of the best questions. So maybe you guys can serve me some questions in a sense. But anyhow, are you physically active on a regular basis? But this is important if you're sitting behind a damn computer, as much as us designer and coders tend to. And so usually I'll answer these questions first, and then I'll just show some of the answers afterwards. So physically active on a regular basis, I have to be, because if I don't run or do cardio, usually it's in the form of running, or if I don't lift in the form of resistance training, I get like anxiety big time. It's just like, I don't know, and that's one of the things, and people know this. Instead of taking anxiety medications, you need to try to just work that crap off by being active. It's not really natural as us humans just to be sitting here behind a computer all day or being sedentary in any setting. If you're sitting on a damn couch all day eating Hot Pockets, right? So you got to be active. So that's my answer. So I run a lot, and I haven't been lifting quite as much as I should. But eventually I want to run a marathon one day. I'm just too lazy to do the training. All right, so I'm getting fat day by day. I just sleep, design, develop, job, gaming, pizza, and repeat. So, you know, I go through that, but I don't let that happen for an extended period of time, no more than a few days if I get in that groove. It's kind of a bad thing. I bet Gary can bench 300 pounds. Oh, that's Kyle. I run 3 times a week. Hated running when I was in the military, but since I got out, it keeps me insane. And there we go. That reinforces the whole mental health aspect as it pertains to physical activity. All right, so that was just a fluff question. I couldn't think of anything better. What's your biggest challenge you face as a designer slash coder? All right, so for me, I consider myself a designer slash coder, but my main job title obviously is this this whole educational slash instructional approach. And so my biggest challenge in my life when it comes to this stuff is coming up with decent topics, especially on this new schedule where I'm doing 4 videos a week, but I'm making it work. I haven't missed any yet. So plus I'm starting to understand what's more popular on this channel. Like yesterday I did a very niche coding, like back-end based tutorial. It didn't do as well as the other stuff as I've been putting out lately. So going to try to remember that. So from Kevin, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but just a part of it. As a developer and coder, my biggest challenge these days is there are way too many things to learn. I'm very enthusiastic for learning things outside of my full-time job, and that's tough. If you have a full-time job and you're trying to learn stuff outside of it, I've never had a technical full-time job where I had to clock in somewhere. That would be tough. But what my suggestion would be is don't try to learn technologies for the sake of learning them. You got to try to learn them where it makes sense and try to use a real-world application. Have a purpose and something, an idea in mind in terms of maybe doing a startup or a website or a service or something, and then just use what you maybe already know, or use if you want to learn something new because you're hearing all these benefits, use it for that purpose. Don't just learn for the sake of learning. My biggest challenge is to know where I stand with knowledge, or am I a noob or advanced? So it doesn't matter if you're a noob or advanced. Like I said, you should have a purpose when you're trying to learn to become a developer or a designer. You should have a project in mind, and you'll quickly find out if you're a noob or you're advanced. And obviously, if you're just starting out and you don't have many projects on your belt, whether that's in terms of design or coding, then start with the obviously just most simple application you can think of. Something that's useful, maybe something that people can even use, and so that you can make maybe a business out of it. But start with the absolute basics, and you'll quickly discover if you're a noob or not, just based on that. So don't worry about what level you are. Tackle projects, and if you're having a hard time with the simple stuff, yeah, you're a damn noob. But obviously, as if you stick with it, you're going to advance naturally. Mine is motivation. How do I stay motivated? Please help. I'm going to answer this question. Actually, my wife is going to answer this question in the next question. So just keep this in mind. How do you stay motivated? All right. Let me check the chat, make sure my mic is still working and all that stuff. Yeah, I do these videos on my own. I'll talk in the chat here a little bit, but I want to stick to the questions. So I think this is the last question. No, maybe not. No, this is the third. This is on Wednesdays. So yeah, are you struggling to find work? If so, are you going to take my advice in the video? So I did a video recently. I forget what it was titled. But the topic was, shit, I can't remember the topic. I'm horrible. Let me find this real quick. I'm going to my YouTube channel. See how prepared I am? Yeah. This one right here. All right, so making money online in 2018 as a designer and coder. Someone accused me of, clickbait here, but it's not really clickbait because I'm actually helping people in the content of this video. It's a pretty popular video so far. And basically the purpose of this was to help people, those of you who are aspiring to be designers or coders or whatever, and trying to find work, at least in terms of being a freelancer or whatever. And I definitely watched the video if you're in the shoes, if you haven't watched it yet. I'm not going to really go over too much, but my advice in the video is make the work find you. Don't go find the work. Yeah, go find the work in terms of posting on job sites, but that's so quick and easy. But don't just sit there, you know, twiddling your thumbs afterwards. You need to be very proactive in producing content and using that as a means for work to find you. So just watch the video. So finally, someone talks some sense. If you're a developer, you know the resources you use. Get to the front page of CodePen, create a popular plugin on GitHub, become a hit on Stack Overflow, and throw your site URL on all of these resources, and stop talking about yourself and start showing what you do. Perfect. Yep, that's why I included that. It's additional information. What I just included in that video was, you know, maybe 1% of the potential ideas that you could do. How could you stay motivated from the beginning? So this is where my wife's going to answer. Like I said, as a response, my wife said something on Facebook recently: don't rely on motivation. If you need to do something, do it. Motivation is quickly passing emotion. Emotions are never reliable. It's probably the best thing she's ever said. And I've been around her for like, I don't know, 15 years or something. So yeah, don't rely on motivation. I mean, it's nice to have these motivational type videos that you watch and every now and then, but if you base your entire your work path or whatever you're going to do based on just watching motivational videos, you have to get out of that mindset. What do you think about platforms like Talent.io, where you fill out your profile skills and get found by companies? I always get these and similar ads on Facebook, but don't know if that's really a thing to consider. Yeah, consider it, like I said, because that's the opposite approach of making work find you. You're trying to find work. That's fine, but you know, you could post these things very quickly. I mean, it takes just a couple hours probably to put your information on a lot of these sites where potential employers will find you, but make the work find you also, which takes a lot more work. And also, I did a reply to somebody. I didn't include the original thing I was replying to because it was kind of irrelevant. But their point was just, you know, there's other ways you can make money as well. And so I'm just including this here. You know, I've made money in the past by selling vBulletin themes. I owned a site called Skinsta.com. I sold like vBulletin skins and stuff. It wasn't hugely successful, but it was a way to make money. And a Photoshop script / template called Wise Banner. I made this thing for Photoshop where it was, did you know you can actually create scripts through JavaScript in Photoshop? Yeah, I didn't know that. And then I made this thing where, you know, you design one 720, what was it, 726 by 80. I forget I haven't messed with banner ads in so long, but a leaderboard ad, you design one and it will replicate the design across a bunch of other banner sizes. It's just an idea I thought that would be useful, and I sold it for $80 and it had a bunch of templates with it. It's still up too. I think it's wisebanner.com. And yeah, I sold hundreds of copies like that. So you can make money obviously by creating actual scripts and things like that, and assets, especially with like the asset websites with videohive.net if you're into video, or audiojungle.net if you're into audio and recording. That's where I get all of my like the loop, the little background, that's all from Audio Jungle. I've purchased tons of stuff from them. And so you can make money being one of these authors for these sites. So yeah. Then last question from yesterday: what is your ultimate career goal? Me, I'm pretty close to it. Ideally, you know, in the future, I mean, I don't see myself creating videos like this, you know, when I'm like 65 years old or something. So for me, it's a matter of delegating and outsourcing work, and I started to do that. I've hired my first writers at Corsettra.com, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, for me, it's just a matter of offloading work, but I still the size of this business is very small, so I have a lot of work to do. Why all you doing is so interesting? I don't know. I had to include that one though. My ultimate goal is to find myself doing what I love and enjoy doing that without any financial problems like now. I think that's the ultimate goal for almost everybody in a general sense. And I've also heard a way to phrase it, you know, it's not about having money, in life that's going to make you happy. It's about having options. The money is just a tool to have those options. When you don't have much money, by default, you don't have much options. My ultimate career goal is to be a full stack developer. I consider myself a full stack developer, but once, you know, I level up, maybe I can be a full stack developer. Anyhow, let me close that off. All right, so that's all for the questions for today. Let me give it up our Discord server here. And, okay, we still got 100 people around. All right, cool. All right. So we have a few submissions. We're going to cover first, just because I do have enough time. This individual submitted today at 5:16 a.m. So I have enough to go through all of these. Actually, maybe I should do those at the end if I don't. I'm just gonna do, we'll do the gunslingers. All right. Open link. It's opening on my other browser. All right, so this is the portion where I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts here. So I'm a guitar player. Okay, I am a coder, a guitarist. All right, so my initial thought here was, is something going to happen after this? But obviously, this is on a loop. Oh, let me get that overlay off. There we go. And so I would try to find a way to direct their attention. Maybe use CSS and JavaScript to make a little down arrow kind of show up here after the first initial thing. So, you know, after X amount of time from when the page is loaded, make some type of signifier that this is coming down. Also, based on the background and this logo here of sorts, I would try to increase the contrast somehow, either by lightening up the background, and there's different ways you can do that, or creating more contrast by changing the colors here with this logo, because this right here, this area is there's not enough contrast, so it gets a little bit lost. You want things to be really separated. All right, and I would probably move this up a little bit higher and absolutely center it in a vertical manner. All right, so we have some this background image here is fixed, so it's cool. About me, in this type-based content right here, I would say don't center this stuff. I would left align it, because you have stuff over here. I mean, if you didn't have this image right here, it may make sense to center this. But whenever you have two columns of content, when you're aligning to the middle, the stuff in either column, it kind of throws off the flow. So for instance, I can change this real quick. Oh, I can't left align this because it's on its own section right here. This already looks better to me right here just by left aligning it. All right, work. All right, so there's nothing in work, I assume. That's why it's kind of just empty here. So unfortunately, you don't have other pieces of work just yet. But you know, there are definitely things that you're getting right. You definitely understand white space and all that stuff, and understanding, you know, that things need to have room to breathe and all of that. So it's just a couple things to worry about here. For instance, I would definitely rework this. It's a little bit cluttered, and especially the lights from this background. It's kind of clashing with all this stuff. So I would wrap this in one of these containers, this important stuff right here, left align them, maybe create some more separation between the icons and the text itself. All right, so thanks for your submission. All right. Checking responsiveness. I'm probably not going to do the whole check. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on all of these. All right, so let's come up here. Gunslinger. I am a sheesh. Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, it's not a link here, so I gotta open this myself. All right. All right, so this over here, this section where it's just kind of a sidebar, but there's nothing in it. I would put content here, definitely. If you're going to use a sidebar, put something other than just your name and your title. It feels like there should be links here, at least something that would scroll the page to the different sections, because you have portfolio education. You know, you could do a home, portfolio education down here, and then just have it scroll automatically to those 4 sections. Outside of this, I'm not too sure about this font. But one thing I definitely don't like is this part where it says I'm familiar with these technologies, and then they just kind of look like tags, you know. In terms of what's called visual hierarchy, these are very low on the list. They should be higher because these are things that you can do. So a quick fix even would to make this list so that you could actually have them highlighted like this by default. It makes them stick out more, and it separates it, because things are very monotone, and you know there's not much structure here. I would probably put these, at least in the desktop viewport, one in the left column. Put these instead of floating them to the right of each other, just put them on their own line like a list, and then also put the stuff I'm also good at, put it over here and do the same thing. And then here's a portfolio section. I'm not too sure about having these big soft shadows here. I would probably get rid of that, especially because everything else you have here seems to be kind of flat. I don't know. Overall, it's not bad. I see good white space. The type isn't bad. This is a little bit strange up there. I'm not sure about having these being italicized up here. I would just make this regular, definitely. All right, but overall, not bad. Well, there's a lot going right here. All right, let's check the next one. Cookie Monster. Oh, by the way, if any of you have submitted your portfolio for me to review before, don't submit it. I don't want to do, at least, you know, let several months pass. I'm not saying Cookie Monster did that, but it just randomly came up to me. All right, so Cookie Monster. All right, let's see, open link. Can't remember. No, I don't think I've done yours before. Eventually, I'm probably going to start getting confused. I won't be able to tell if I've done portfolio things before. This is pretty solid, in my opinion. The name up here, yeah, maybe make that stick out just a tad bit more. I would maybe just bold it. It'll place more emphasis on it and also distinguish it from this this section right here. Yeah, everything seems pretty simple. Maybe create a little bit more separation between this column and this column. I mean, you have a little bit, and you could also do that just, you know, outside of position. You could do it by making these bold right here. But I would probably move them over a little bit more to the right, simply because you have a lot of space over here. Again, this is very simple stuff. Maybe by default, I would make these buttons stick out. They stick out. I'm not sure about this hover where we have this type of teal/green and this blue. They kind of clash, but when you're not hovering over it, they sort of get lost. I would maybe just lighten them up, or the background to create separation. Again, this is all picky stuff. All in all, this is solid from what I'm seeing. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, that's very cool. I like these transitions. We're going to start seeing more of these as a trend. Definitely. This is solid right here, like this. Portfolio. Yep, cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's one of the better ones so far. All right, I'm just checking out the chat here. All right, what next? All right, got a Behance one here. So I'll just pick out maybe one or two. Japanese music band debut. That's some interesting attire there. Yeah, this is solid. From what I'm seeing here, definitely not your conventional layout. I wish I could see it like in action, but from what I see here, it's pretty solid. Let's check out this one. All right, so this is a landing page, which I assume starts right here. Yeah, I've tried to make this stand out. Again, contrast is so important, especially when you're talking about buttons and call to actions on hero sections of landing pages. There's a little bit of contrast is lost here when we're talking about the background. It's a little bit better when I make this larger, though. This is, yeah, I like this font, the condensed sans serif fonts. Although one thing that is strange is this logo, it's aligned right here, but we have the content over here that's way over onto the side, so it throws off the flow of the layout. I would make this start in line right there. But other than that, I like to type in all the other graphic design fundamentals. Here's another one. Yeah, for some reason everything's like there's a big old space over here in your navigations. This is solid though. I like this, the way this is set up for the most part. This looks pretty solid as well. So yeah, very solid. Not a beginner, I can definitely tell. We'll take a look at one more, a music landing page. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, good stuff. Cool, man. Good stuff. What else is there? Demetrius, open here. Let's refresh that. Nice loading graphic. All right. Oh, we have some type of and we're gonna make it dance. Cool stuff. Going down here. Nice. All right, there's a little bit I definitely like the scroll effect and the animations, but it seems a little bit sparse in terms of content and even in a layout a little bit. I mean, just minor adjustments would probably improve this. Maybe putting this all on one line instead of just relegating it down here off to the side. There's kind of nothing happening over here. Let's go down to 3. Yeah, they definitely want to improve this. This may be a work in progress. I'm not sure, but definitely, as it stands now, there's no contrast happening almost right here. So you would definitely want to fix that. You could put some type of background behind it, the text. I'm not sure if this is going to work very well. Maybe not. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, there's what is happening here? Why is that so tall? Well, even if it weren't, we'll put some padding here on the top at least. No, we'll just put padding like, yeah, maybe something like that. Width. All right, that's not working. And then you could maybe make the background a little bit of opacity. Either way, this would definitely separate it from that content right there. I definitely like the scrolling based and animations. Cool stuff. All right, let's continue on. Oh man, we're getting more. We're getting more and more people. Okay. We're gonna open link. Looking at their section over here. All right, Samantha. Yeah, why am I having a hard time reading that? Okay, let's see here. All right, marketer and professional. It's a little bit cluttered right here with the different type styles. I would probably move this down a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see. Up here, these are kind of afterthoughts. It's hard to see them. The Facebook LinkedIn and Instagram logos. I would make those stick out a little bit more by default. Got some parallax happening. This is nice. I don't know about this graphic. I don't know about that. I mean, I would probably choose something more conventional. All right. Okay. Looking at this, I would probably try to create some more separation between these sections right here. This is a little bit just, I don't know, it lacks structure for the layout a little bit. With this who am I and this, I'm trying to figure out like a potential better way to separate these areas. You can even use different background colors to separate your different sections, because it seems to run together as we go down. Say skills, personal skills. That's not bad. Maybe a little bit more separation between these, because they're pretty close together. All right, this is nice. I would make this stick out more somehow, especially this part. That's kind of hard to see. I would probably put a background on this so that you can see the text a little bit more. The background's already the same shade, or the same hue at least. All right. Not too much a fan of the graphic artist thing at the point where it's kind of overlaying the content right here. That can kind of get in the way. And I would do something to make this a little bit more unique. Maybe separate, maybe make graphic bold or vice versa. Get them a little bit closer together. All right. Overall though, there's a lot good that's happening. So it's more just minor stuff from what I'm seeing. All right, only the landing page and the portfolio pages are somewhat ready. Well, I'll just look at the landing page. This is from Horo. All right. Okay. I would get rid of this separating line here. It just kind of creates, makes it a little bit too cluttered. It would be more easy to see, you know, your symbol versus the word mark if you got rid of that line. That's a minor gripe though. Good, solid, simple navigation. View. All right. Yeah, this is pretty solid right here. Clear call to action, easy to see. The animation over here, so that's good. I like this little effect down here. There's a little SVG. Here's a portfolio section. Kind of a card-based layout, which is a good idea to make them this big because you only have 3 at this point anyhow. But no, overall, there's a lot happening here that's solid. So yeah, definitely, you have a lot going here. Good, good, good. All right, let's continue on. Oh my God, you guys just keep on posting stuff. I don't know if I can get to all these. You have to, if I don't get to you, just set a reminder, subscribe, 10:30 a.m. next Friday. All right, continuing on, we have Ifosa. All right, designer, thinker, coder. And maybe make this a tad bit bigger because it's kind of important in my opinion. These links, these social media, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that could be put somewhere else. This part's pretty important right here. And make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, what's lacking here is, you know, again, I always talk about it, visual hierarchy. And I went to a Google search for visual hierarchy in web design. There was a good article recently, you know, where you need to really emphasize your most important elements through design. So the font size says 1.825 EM. You know, make that thing bigger, like 3. Maybe make this a little bit bigger as well. 0.9, maybe like 1.5 or 1.3. There we go. Just small minor adjustments like that. from what I see so far. This, I would make this smaller, this logo smaller, so that this right here would be smaller, because also this is making it so that this is off alignment vertically. It's just kind of up there, so it throws off the flow. So it should be definitely smaller in height for that bar. All right. So just really small things, not much happening here, but yeah, everything else for the most part looks good. Good stuff. Gary Swan. Oh my God, there's okay. Well, it looks like people are talking. All right, open link. All right. Keep on seeing my name, Gary Simon, almost when I glance at it. Like, what is going on? Oh, we got Wix. This site was designed with the Wix.com website builder. Well, I don't know about that, man. I don't know if I should review this if you're doing that. No, honestly I don't know how much flexibility they give you. Like if this is a template or whatever. Gary Swan. Okay. So you've made your identity a swan based on your username. But looking at this, yeah, I would get rid of this shadow. The way you've used it here, at least, is way too. What is this? Is this like a graphic or is it actual? It doesn't look like it's type. Yeah, I wouldn't use an image for text. That's old school stuff. That's like what we did in the late 90s and early 2000s. Always use HTML and then style it with CSS, because you could do this with CSS and you don't have to wait about an extra response and slower load times. I know it's a small image in terms of file size, but yeah, don't do that. I would also either really lighten up that drop shadow. Of course, someone's calling me, or remove it entirely. And yeah, the portfolio section, you want to separate these. They're all running into each other. So, put padding or margin, preferably padding, on the outside of each one of these areas. If Wix gives you that ability. I don't know if they do or not. Yeah, see it says padding 0 right here. Yeah, I'm targeting the wrong selector, obviously, here. But yeah, just you want to separate these because they're all running into each other. All right. And also, if you're using like a Wix website builder, I would try to stick to, and you don't have a lot of experience with design, try to stick to the default templates as much as possible. I'm going to make the assumption that they're pretty good. But when you try to really start making a lot of customizations, when you don't maybe have a lot of experience, I would just stick to the templates more so. All right. This is my Nuxt site. Page transitions a lot. Sadly, only in Dutch for now. All right, so let's open this up. All right, it's been 38 minutes so far. Oh, that's cool. You know what? It's refreshing to see something different aside from these little tangles and vertices that you know what I mean when it comes to like cryptocurrency websites. Everybody's using that these days. But there are some issues here with the buttons. The buttons, I would definitely rework these buttons. Go to Google and just type in HTML, CSS buttons or button galleries and try to get some better ideas, because what's happening wrong here is I would say these icons are too big in terms of the current size of the button container. Yeah, they're also, the way you've aligned these, they could be aligned better, because you're left aligning and then you're right aligning these elements, and it's creating for an uneven separation between these elements, and it just throws off the whole design when you're doing it like that. I don't know how we could see that these are text align right, but we still have a lot of space between these. I'm not sure if I want to spend too much time on trying to make adjustments here. There we go. That's already a lot better. I would still make some other adjustments. Make these make the elements smaller a little bit. And because you can see there's hardly any white space between there. All right, let's go ahead and see these page transitions. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. Everything kind of just falls into place quickly. Yeah, I definitely like that. It's very smooth. Now this, there definitely is padding this time between these, but still, I would probably want a little bit more than this to really separate things out more. Because if you just look at things from a macro perspective, like you kind of go back, it looks like kind of like a big blur. So definitely add more separation between these elements. So we have, I don't know, I'm kind of wasting time trying to make changes here because the CSS sometimes isn't. Here's padding for 5 pixels. There's 20 pixels right there. That's already better in my opinion. You could see it a lot easier in this manner. I'm not too sure about the font here either. But yeah, definitely like, overall it's pretty solid, especially this page. I like it. There's a lot of room for it to breathe here on desktop. Yeah, just some minor things to worry about. Thanks for submitting. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Please review. I'm going to try to pronounce that. All right, here we go, guys. This website contains audio. Please adjust your volume accordingly. Let's click to start. Oh, that's cool. Did you do that yourself? What's happening? Is it loading? Oh, okay, there it goes. Oh, this is cool. We got meteors and asteroids everywhere. Cool. I would try to make your logo, your word mark portion of the logo stick out more, or your name. All right. All right, let's see what I can do here. I might try to decrease the amount of stuff in the background here. There's a lot happening. Can I go down? Can I scroll down? I'm just wondering. No. All right, so the only area that we can go then is this right here. I would definitely put some type of button to direct the user's attention. Like, where do you want them to go the most? All right, so now it just transitions into a normal standard kind of page. This isn't bad. I'd probably put even more separation between this section in here. Not too sure about the audio. I have not seen audio in, use on a site. I mean, a non-gaming site for quite a while. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's okay, or maybe not. This is pretty cool. It's designed well. Maybe it's occurring a little bit too slow. Make those come in faster. All right. Pretty solid otherwise. All right. Definitely very interesting. Good stuff. All right. It's not my portfolio. It's something I made. Okay. So this is something somebody made here. I'm going to open this. Any super chats? Anybody pay me any money yet? Oh, I'm sure nobody did. No, not at all. That's okay. All right. All right, here's a standard sort of e-commerce looking site. I like this. I like this type here. I don't like that kind of just, you know, showing up on top of that. It kind of makes it hard. I'm trying to read this and I don't know. I would definitely change that. But this is good, the type itself. I would try to emphasize the navigation a little bit more. It's a little bit cluttered. Maybe put a different background on it and give it a little bit more space, possibly. And also, I'm not sure how. This is it lacks a little bit of that visual hierarchy, like I was saying, like this navigation over here, and then we have this one here in the middle. So I would think about that maybe a little bit differently. This is nice though. I like the animation. Definitely modern, like this. This is nice as well. Very good. This is pretty solid. This part over here. I would create more separation between this text, this description text right here, and this up here. You definitely have done it through font size, but when you take these three elements in this Learn More button, they're all 100% white. You can create more separation. For instance, if you just very subtly put opacity like 0.8 or 0.7. All right, like that. And so now you create separation just through adjusting the contrast. It's still easy to read, but it definitely helped it a bit. Everything here is solid though. I do like it. Very nice, good stuff. When I'm looking over this way, I'm looking at the YouTube chats here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get to all these, I don't think. We'll see. I'll try to go quick here. Right here, next one. Let's open that. All right, we got a lot of glowing occurring here. I would definitely take off the glowing, at least by, these are a black on black with a stroke and a glow. I would minimize that a bit. I know you're going for a certain aesthetic, but I think definitely it's a little bit too much, especially with the red glow like that. So I would change that somehow. All right, so that's interesting. It's kind of cool. I like this hover-based animation. I would probably try to rework the image a little bit. You could tell it's distorted and a little bit pixelated. So I would try to come up with something that's a little bit more refined in that manner. Again, I would change this text. There's just too much glowing happening here. Yeah. So I mean, and also, hey there, everyone. My name is I'm a passion programmer, right code for web. I would separate this content. I would completely rework this content. Get it away from the top of the browser so much. We have a lot of space right here that could be utilized. You know, we push that stuff down a little bit more. Putting the LinkedIn and YouTube or Instagram icons over here and separating from these ones doesn't make sense because they're all the same purpose. Stick one over there. Either put this one. I would put these probably either to the left or to the right and make them all 5 together. Yeah, here's another example. Sometimes it's not worth putting the hamburger mobile menu on desktop, simply because in this case you only have 3 links anyways. So I would just make these always visible because you're requiring an extra step from the user. All right, so thanks for that. Let's see here, more of a coder and designer. All right, so this person's more of a coder than a designer. All right, so I would increase the contrast big time between this type and the background. So Control-Shift-I. Take this background. I'm not sure if this is going to work. We have 0.5 opacity, so we're at 50%. 0.2 is a lot better. 0.1 is even better, maybe 0.15. There we go. That's a lot better. Now you can read this so much easier. I would create more separation between this headline and the sub headline. Yeah, this is definitely bigger, but it's still, there's not enough separation visually still. It looks like this is that bold or no? It's just a thick font naturally. Well, either way, I would try to create more separation between these. And again, you create separation or visual hierarchy in a bunch of different ways, not just through font size or font weight, but like I said before, with contrast and color. So something like that even helps it a little bit more, putting opacity there. All right, so now we're getting to a section where you know, we have some more content that I think would definitely be improved, could be improved upon. Not too, I definitely don't like the underline. I would get rid of the underline. And also in this case, like I said, there's two, I said before, there's two columns. Whenever there's two columns, I probably would not center them. You could center them when there's one column on desktop or definitely mobile. That's a common pattern. But in this case, you know, I would definitely push these all to the left. Sorry, as well as this part as well. Oops, I didn't want to get rid of that. But you know what I mean. We push this all to the left, get rid of the underline, and I think it'll flow a lot better for both of them. And also, in terms of sectioning out content, like, all right, this is about me, and then underneath about me is work life and offline life. But they're all styled, all three of these labels are styled exactly the same. So you need to create separation. This is the most important part. I would make these smaller, a little bit smaller. And then that way you create, like I said, that visual hierarchy. All right, and then again right here, put padding, a lot of padding between these thumbnails so they don't run into each other like this. In the way you have the public blog project on top of it, it kind of gets lost. So you put a background behind it, like it's black, and make the text white or something like that. That way you can easily see these. In the read more button, you know, again, most people understand when it comes to thumbnails like this, they can click it anyway, so you probably don't need to put the read me. If you do, make it more of like an actual button and not just text that's sitting there. So yeah, I would change these headlines big time, and probably just stick to sans serif. I mean, there's times when you can get away with serif and mixing sans serif with serif fonts, but it's few and far between. Especially, you know, if you're more of a designer versus coder, stick to one or the other. And obviously, if we're dealing with something like modern technologies, sans serif is usually the way to go. It's a safe way to go for sure. All right, thanks for submitting that. Checking out. Do I still do freelance? Yeah, rarely. Not very much at all. I'm really focused on this business. I'm getting lost here. Okay. How long has it been? 53 minutes. We're going to be wrapping this up real shortly. FutureWebgate.com. All right. This is taking a little bit too much space up here. I would condense things so you have more screen real estate above the fold, as it's referred to as. The services portfolio about us. This white, there's not quite enough contrast between the type and the background here. I mean, it's close, but a little bit more would be better. So you could either wrap these in a background where it's just slightly darker, which I'm not probably going to be able to do this. Or maybe I can. Let's see here. Background color RGBA 000, and then yeah, it's not working. Yeah, there it goes. 0.2, 0.1, even something subtle like that. And I know there's this is an issue right here. We need equal padding like we do over here, but you get the point. Something to create more separation, so it's not so monotone in a sense, and also there's more contrast. Down here, this is definitely, the type is way too small, and you're trying to fit too much into these overlays on the thumbnail. So I would probably decrease the amount of characters that are displayed in this description area. That way you can increase the size of these a lot more. All right, so just minor adjustments really, and it will come together a lot more. Check it, take a look at the next one. Yeah, just a quick suggestion. If you're going to put your thing, link me so it makes it just a tad bit easier, so I don't have to paste it. All right. Yeah, definitely. This kind of too big, too in my face. Your face is too in my face because it's too big here. So I would scale this down a lot, and also separate your elements more through some white space. All right. So width 100%. I mean, we'll put like 50%. And for some reason, that converted it into. There it goes. And then, space these things out a lot more. All right, or something like that. And then this this is a lowercase I would make that capital, or make this all capital as well, and get this all centered in correctly. You can do that easily with a display grid. Ooh, cannot see any of that stuff. You got to make that text white. I like the animation though, but this color, there you go. You got to make that white. Could not see that at all. And even the hovers, if you change the hovers, don't make the links hide when you hover them. You want to emphasize them, if anything. So make them bold maybe, and keep it white. Or give it color, a different type of color, not one that's so, one that contrasts well. And yeah, contrasts well with the background purple. And if you have projects in other areas, emphasize it somehow on the home page, because this doesn't give me anywhere to click aside from this menu. You should have like a big button right here if you want people to see your work and or contact you. So kind of interesting horizontal scroll happening here, but yeah, give people an area to go always. All right, open link. It is 58 minutes in. All right, so Paul is a UI UX designer currently based in Krakow, making impossible ideas possible. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right here we lack, again, what I'm talking about, visual hierarchy. I mean, this part's, I like this. It's nice, thick. It's larger, but these two areas right here, there's a lot of text, and it's kind of running together, especially when you look at these three as a whole. So I would, again, use the concepts of visual hierarchy to separate these elements through those various ways. When you have a lot of text like this, you probably shouldn't make it span across all the way. Either condense it and put maybe like a read more button, or confine it to a column over here, or something like that. I would also, these buttons, the way there's like two columns happening here. There's one column up here, then we have two columns here, and then this one's left aligned, but these are not left aligned. I would push this all the way here and make it start right here instead of kind of centering it in this column right here, because it's throwing off the flow of the design. All right, so I kind of like this. Shut up. Sometimes you can get away with putting like thumbnails where you have no padding between them. And it all depends on what the content of the thumbnail is. These are just general photographs, and they kind of naturally contrast with each other quite well. But when you have like website thumbnails where there's a tiny little text area and there's a lot of diversity in the images, they kind of blend together a lot. So in this case, this is done well in my opinion. What happens when we click on these? Okay, so it's like a specific client thing here. Lot of white space, and there is such thing as too much white space. This, I think you could probably make some of this stuff bigger, and probably left align this as well, make it a little bit larger, because things are looking quite small right here. I'm gonna get going here with maybe one or two more. Well, what happened? Where'd it go? All right. I guess I'm just gonna have to paste it in anyhow. All right, so definitely an interesting sort of layout here. My initial reaction is positive. There's a lot of little different blips around here. Like this copyright, I would get rid of that entirely. It's just a distraction from the main content right here and yourself. So get rid of that. Put that way down here, under here at the bottom or somewhere. This is a little bit strange where you're just kind of looking at these buttons. Maybe think about placing that maybe in a slightly different area. I like the colors though. The fact that this, you know, goes on top of this container, it still works because this is almost like a watermark in the background. So I do like a lot of what's happening here. I would maybe put something in here, possibly. I know it's really there to serve as like an aesthetic site type of element, but it really sticks out quite a bit. Yeah, I do like what I see here. This is cool. You know what though? This is a kind of like a mid to darker blue. So choosing black for that wouldn't be as good as making it white. Now I know that just made everything else hide, but this is definitely better though when you compare it with black. See, it kind of gets hidden. So there's more contrast if you choose white. I would make that white. But this is definitely cool. I like it a lot. Good stuff right here. It's not too much to critique. I'm going to do one more, and if you already submitted one, I'm sorry. I don't like going over an hour. It's already been an hour and 3 minutes. So just if you submitted one, come back next Friday at 10:30 a.m. and try to be here quick to submit your portfolio while live. So like I said, I'm going to do one more. Where the hell am I at? Let me find the URL that I was just at, MALY. All right, just for fun, I designed this template. Check it out. This is the very last one. All right, cool loading graphic. I would definitely push this up, get it more centered. Too much space here. Interesting little random thing. That's not bad. It doesn't really affect anything much. It's interesting, different. Coming down here. Now on this larger, 1920 resolution I have here, or 1080, you could probably separate things out even a little bit more. But this is still pretty solid. Good separation here. Good I like the overlays. That's nice. You can see there's good like I've been talking about, visual hierarchy here. You have your icon, you have a nice title, and it's separated through font weight and size, and then the description is also separated through font size and contrast, as it's not 100% black. So that's good. This is a little bit cluttered here. I would separate these a little bit more visually. I would make this I would definitely change this watch button. It doesn't contrast enough with the background. So use a different color of sorts to make sure it sticks out quite a bit more. You can make this like a yellow this purple, and then make the text black or something like that. No, there's a million options. This is all pretty solid. All right. Cool. That guy. Yeah, everything looks pretty solid here. Good stuff. Oh, all right. My face starts hurting after I talk so much. So, yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. Just checking the chat here. And, yeah, like I said, if I didn't get to yours, I'm sorry. I'm spent right now. And like I said, definitely come back next Friday so that I can do a review. So yeah, make sure, you know, again, I'm still doing the Monday through Thursday thing. I'm uploading new videos focused on front end lately. And yeah, new videos at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. And so also on Fridays is this live feed that I'm also having. So yeah, check out. Also, if you join the Discord server, feel free to idle in there. I'm there. I'm always there idling. I get notifications and stuff when people message me. We already have, how many people? 78 online now, because it's only a week old at this point. Wait, where is it at? And 250 total. So total, we're getting close to 400 already. Good stuff. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude. I'll take a look at the YouTube chats a little bit, by the way. Let me get the YouTube chat open here if I can. One moment. Done. Let's see. The chat has an area where you can pop out. There it is. Okay. So that's everybody in here. Oh yeah, not many people have been talking. Do you still do freelance? Yeah, like I said, I did a project last month or the month before, but that was it. I might do another one for them. Any tips for a 17-year-old web developer? Yep, just keep going at it. I mean, that's my only tip. I mean, just keep on sticking with it. And also watch my video from yesterday if you haven't yet. That's going to help a lot. Thanks. Just scrolling up here and checking things out. Seeing if there's anything worth answering if there's questions. Well, of course, when we're talking about front end, we have the aesthetics and the visuals, you know, how things look to the eye. And then when it comes to the front end, you know, of course, you have your HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. You know, somebody who only knows basic HTML and CSS, I mean, you could say, yeah, they're front end developer, but I mean, obviously they're of a different skill level if you compare them to somebody, you know, who can do you know, Angular and crazy React stuff, which is front end as well. No, I mean, again, I'm definitely more of a designer than a coder, but it's like asking, do you think guitar is a difficult concept to grasp? I mean, playing Mary Had a Little Lamb's pretty easy, but doing something like Steve Vai is not. So it just all depends. It's all subjective. You know, just stick with it, and pretty much, unless you have like a severe IQ impediment, yeah, anybody can grasp it for the most part. Yeah, you're too late, pretty much. I'm about to close this off and start watching. Finish watching my my Wimbledon semifinals with John Isner. All right, guys, I'm gonna get going, and I will see you guys later. There will be a new video this coming Monday. All right, see ya.